Hello, hello. Just getting online because I have been having people ask questions, well, I should say women, asking questions about hormones. And somebody asked me the other day, they're like, how do you know? Like, how do you know you have a hormone imbalance? And it was difficult because I don't know. I mean, I'm a guy and I have some imbalances of my own, shall we say. But the question is, I wanted to get your words. I wanted to hear from you because you don't just walk around saying, oh, I have a hormone imbalance. Hey, Kim, you have symptoms. You have irregular periods, bleeding, infections. You might have issues with irritability, mood swings, hot sweats, all kinds of different things. So the question that I have for you is, describe for me in words, one word, hashtag, nasty face, whatever it is. Explain to me in your words how a hormone imbalance feels. Like, how do you know? Like, what makes you want to go in and be seen for something like this? Is it vaginal dryness, bitchiness? What are people telling you? Why do you think you have an issue? It might be that somebody's just telling you have an issue, but maybe you really don't have an issue. So I think it's important. We want to know what's going on and why. And I think it's important for me to understand why you think you have an issue because it's important. The other thing I wanted to talk about, other than just basic hormone imbalances, is I found this young girl online. Well, actually, she's a daughter of a friend of mine. And she's super cute, and her name is Liv Kringoudis, and she is selling her hair. She grew her hair out. She's a cute little Australian girl, lives in Melbourne, as they say, and she's trying to raise money for her Locks of Love, but out there they call it Canteen. So I'm going to post her link here, and I'm hoping that everybody that's online tonight, at least 7 of you right now, will click on her link and give her $10. I think she's got some goals. If you could meet her, she's super cute, super sassy, and she's really doing a good thing. My mother died of ovarian cancer 16 years ago, and one of the hardest things for my mother, and I would imagine for a lot of people that undergo chemo, is losing your hair. And so the hair was super important for my mom. She wore scarves a lot. At that time, they didn't really have great wigs that women could wear or other people could wear. My friend Michael Luria lost his daughter to leukemia a few years back, and she started a program called the Bald Beauties, which is a group that really just, flourishes on the beauty of being bald. But for those people that don't appreciate that, they don't like it, it makes them feel different, and they want to wear a wig. Little girls like Liv are donating their hair so that others can have, ooh, my goodness, I think I just felt an earthquake. So that others can have, human hair instead of wigs. So couple things. Let's hear your descriptors. Let's hear your words on hormone imbalances. Like, what is it? What does it feel like? I'm bloated. I'm tired of looking pregnant. I can't sleep. Decreased. I want to hear your explanations. I want to hear it in your words. What it is that bothers you. Even your frustrations with the system. Like, I'm tired of being told that I'm just getting older, or I'm tired of being told that I'm, just 10 pounds overweight. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. Or, hey, you're just trying to, get me out of your office. Or my husband doesn't understand that I don't want sex. I just don't feel like it. I don't have any energy. So the different hormones that we're talking about here are things like testosterone, progesterone, estrogen, cortisol, which some of you may not have tested. If you've had the Dutch urine testing, you've had cortisol checked. And cortisol is an adrenal hormone that controls things like stress and blood sugar, helps us adapt to certain scenarios in life, raises other hormones, but it really, in long term, can help us respond to stress. But if the stress goes away and our cortisol is still elevated, then we can gain weight from that. We can have high blood pressure from that. So how does it make you feel to know that your hormones are off? Or how do you, maybe you don't even know your hormones are off. So I'm tired of being tired. Jenny Fisher, tired of being tired. Kim, I feel like I've aged 10 years. I'm tired all the time. I used to have insomnia and now I sleep all the time. Well, as we age, as we have surgeries, as things in the body change, the hormones are imbalanced, and stress is going to be a big thing with that. Weight loss or weight gain is going to be a big thing with that. So it's important that you come in and get your hormones checked. I'm going to move my camera around. And so it's important that you get your hormones checked. I'm tired all the time, exhausted, I'm bloated. I'm also tired of being told that I'm not trying hard enough or not being honest when I log my food. Man, well, who the hell would say that in the first place? I mean, come on. Somebody actually said that to you, Amanda? I'm also super hairy. Well, join the club there, right? I mean, I'm Italian though, so. I had Isha removed for hysterectomy, kept the ovaries. I'm tired of dealing with hot flashes. I'm tired of hair growing in places I only thought old people had hair. Maybe that's why I'm hairy, because I'm old. Jackie Shelby just came on. Jackie, I'm sure you have absolutely no hormone problems, although Jackie is coming into her own and doing a little bit kind of like Iron Man sort of training, so she's turning into a beast in a good way. So let's see, I'm hearing tired, I'm hearing hairy, I'm hearing bloated, tired of being tired. Tired seems to be a common one. My old doctor told you that. Well, I wasn't hairy before, this is why I'm seeing you, and change my insurance. Well, I appreciate that, thank you. So what you need to know about hair growth is that hair growth can be a couple of things. One is it can be genetic, so if the women in your family tend to be a little hairier, then you may be as well. So just keep that in mind. But high testosterone could do it. High cortisol levels can do it. Amy Beth, what's up? The other thing. So what is it? I'm hearing we're tired, we're bloated, we're hairy. That does not sound sexy to me. I mean, we all have our differences, but that doesn't sound sexy to me. So we need to fix that, right? We need to fix this. So a hormonal imbalance so far is a tired, bloated, hairy woman. That's what I'm getting from y'all right now. Jackie says I'm the best. I have to agree, really. I mean, I can't really argue with that. But so give me some more words here. We've got a bloated, hairy, miserable woman so far. That's what a hormonal imbalance is. But what about like periods? What about sleeping? Well, we already said tired. What else is it? What else is going on? Christy, you can't agree. You have to give me some words here. I'm tired all the time, Luanda. A lot of gastrointestinal issues. No one can seem to give me a diagnosis. I didn't do hormone replacement, but estrogen temporarily. My hair started falling out. So now we've got bald women. We've got mood swings, Jessica. This is really shaping up to be a sexy evening. I mean, we've got bloated, hairy, tired, mood swingy, kind of, what else we got here? We got hair, we got bald women. I mean, this is not sounding good. This is not sounding good to me. Amy Beth, you are not moody. Who are you kidding? You laugh like constantly. But maybe on the inside you're moody. So the other thing is I want Jenny, post it again, Jenny, really quick. Anybody that's on tonight, I'm challenging you to go on to the website that I'm going to post. It's Liv Kringudis from Melbourne, Australia. She's a daughter of a friend. She is giving her hair to Locks of Love, which out there is called Canteen. And Canteen is going to help other people with cancer that have hair loss from chemo. And Liv's going to be donating her hair in a couple of weeks, and she's trying to raise money. Anybody that donates tonight, I'm going to match the donation. Whatever you guys give, and I'm going to go onto her site after this. Whatever y'all give, I'm going to match it. And so just put on there in the comment that you are calling from America and you love what she's doing and what a brave little girl she is. and I will match all of those donations at the end of this podcast. So there's 21 of you on there. There should be at least $210 going to Liv. Now keep in mind, she's in Australia, so our dollar sucks over there. So if you donate $10, they're probably going to charge you like $11.50 or something like that, because the American dollar is for crap. Unless you go to Mexico, then it's pretty good. So let's see. Mood swings. Hairy, irritable, bloaty, tired. I mean, what else we got? Anybody having any problems? Any problems with... Sorry, my camera turned off. There you go. I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that. So where are we at? Kim's donated a locks left, so you know how important it is. I have a friend. My mom obviously had cancer and lost her hair. I have a friend whose daughter lost her hair in her battle with leukemia. It's not a fun thing, obviously, but if we can help make it any better, let's try and help donate to Liv's cause. Tiffany's moody, tired, mixed emotions, and weight. So what I'm hearing too is you're probably not feeling like yourself, right? You're probably not the person that you want to be. You're not able to, enjoy the life that you want to enjoy. You're probably not really interested in having sex with your husband, even though he is delicious, I'm sure. Brain fog. Thank you, Jessica. Brain fog. Nobody said brain fog. That comes up all the time. What is brain fog? What does that feel like? Are you talking like you can't remember where your car keys are, or you can't remember if you put a tampon in? I mean, that does happen, right? What is a brain fog? I mean, what are we talking about here? Are we talking about serious, issues where you can't remember people's names? Because that's pretty serious, right? I mean, that's a definite problem. So, and I have a lot of women that come in and complain of that. It's a pain point, we've got multiple pain points, but the ones that we're dealing with is, and they are real. I can remember things that happened 5 minutes ago. I've started to have issues at work, right? I mean, there's no doubt that every cell in a woman's body is estrogen receptor positive. You have estrogen receptors everywhere, and the brain functions better when that estrogen is in balance. Not imbalanced, but in balance. The camera's moving, Jenny, because I'm moving it. I want it to be like the Blair Witch Project. You can kind of have this deal where you scan around. You can see my Peloton bike right there. Hot flashes. Yes, nobody said hot flashes. Temperature issues, not sleeping soundly, can't take HRT. Why can't you take HRT, Sandra, if you mind me asking? Because if you can't take hormones, then you might want to consider looking at Feminescence, which is a maca-based product that won't necessarily give you that estrogenic stimulation if you have a history of breast cancer or, deep vein thrombosis. Lee, she said anxiety, totally. Absent seizures or tiny lapses in memory function. Well, Heather, you need to get that checked out, obviously. I would obviously see a neurologist or, just to make sure you're not having, petit mal seizures or something like that. Uterine cancer, aggressive. Yes, Sandra, I would agree. Those are obviously estrogen receptor positive. If you are not living the life that you would like to live, if you're kind of miserable with your symptoms, you can try certain non-estrogenic supplements, as long as they're not similar to estrogens, like isoflavones obviously would be, and they could stimulate uterine cells that might be in the body somewhere, so you want to be careful with that. And obviously you want to do stuff under the direction of your oncologist or gynecologist. I suffer with PSVT, like around 225 beats a minute. Heather, it depends. You need to see your cardiologist, but sometimes, as long as it's not a thyroid issue, which obviously if it's a thyroid issue, then we need to figure that out and figure out why your thyroid is doing that. But it might be that sometimes a hot flash could throw you into PSVT because You get a hot flash, you get hot, your heart speeds up, and in your case, it might just stimulate it so much that it goes into this run of PSVT. How about being cold all the time? Is that normal? Not normal in the sense that everybody gets it, but it could be normal for you. It also could be a sign of hypothyroidism. It could be a sign that your thyroid isn't working properly. And usually women that have hypothyroidism also have other issues, weight gain, irritability. They can get water retention in the shins, on their legs, in the lower back. So yeah, it definitely could be a problem because your metabolism's down and your body temperature goes down. Jenny, I'm moving the camera again, so just so you know, so you don't give me a hard time. Because I heard that when you do selfies, you're supposed to look down. You're supposed to look way down. So I'm trying to make myself look better. Loss of movement of the legs, gastritis, colitis, thyroid, headaches, toes, and sleeping hands. Your toes are falling asleep? Huh. Well, that's crazy. I usually have my foot fall asleep. How are cortisol levels checked? The best way to check a cortisol level is going to either be with a saliva test, which is the only thing, in my opinion, that saliva can check well, or a Dutch urine screen, which is a 24-hour urine test. That is a wonderful, very accurate test, and it can check for cortisol levels as well. The problem with the saliva and the Dutch urine testing is that it's not covered by insurance, so you're going to have to pay out of pocket for that. Can run you around $300, but it's an excellent test. No, you didn't teach me the selfie trick. Everybody knows that when you come from the top like this, then you look better. You try to come up from the bottom and you got like 19 chins. That ain't gonna work. So Stephanie, little sleep, anxiety, remembering things, serious bloat, irritability, hands go numb, hip pain, etc. Dry skin. Yes, dry skin. Christy, you're using other people's. You got to come up with your own. Our OTC FSH test, follicular stimulating hormone test, accurate. Follicular stimulating hormone, in my opinion, needs to be checked by blood. So I don't know how you could get one that's over the counter. Low carb, keto help with hormone issues. Low carb will help with a lot of things. Low carb will help with weight loss. Low carb will help with energy because as you go into ketosis, you start burning fat, and that weight loss is actually probably going to help your hormones go back to a better balance than anything else. So it's probably indirect. There might be a little bit of a direct effect from that, but my guess is it's mostly like the weight loss. What else? We got 27 people on here. We're killing it. I'm going to give you a little different view here. We've got the Huichol yarn painting in the background. This is a 3 by 3 foot circle that was every piece on there is everything on there is a piece of yarn. Let me show you. It's really cool. So what they do is they take this board, they put wax on it, and then every little thing here is a piece of string. And what these guys do is they get high on ayahuasca and they make this painting after they see visions on the ayahuasca. And it tells a story of birth and death, and really fascinating. So I have one in this room that this guy did, and then I have one out in my other room that after he died. So how is gynecology approached in Europe and Eastern communities as opposed to how we approach women's health in the West? Wow, that's a great question. I don't know, to be perfectly honest. I haven't ever seen anybody over there. Heather, can we all eat wild yam and be cured? Unfortunately, the answer is no, and I'll tell you why. It's because wild yam contains a compound called disachoria, and that compound is what we make hormones out of in the lab, but our body doesn't have the enzyme inside of it to make the hormones from that chemical compound. So you could eat wild yams until the cows come home, in my opinion, with a little bit of butter and some marshmallows, since Thanksgiving's coming, and you're not going to make any extra hormones. But you'll have a full belly and you'll feel yummy. What else? What other questions we got here? Amy Beth, you haven't asked me one question. And I'm assuming it's because you know it all now because you've hung out with me and we've shared. But cold hands, brittle nails, hair loss. Yep. And that sounds like a nice Saturday to me, actually. So what else we got? We got to fix this, though. We can't just be suffering. You can't be suffering as women because you don't have to. Even our viewer here that had the issues with uterine cancer, if it's interfering with your life, if you can't feel the way that you want to feel, if you have decreased quality of life, let's fix that and let's do it safely and let's do it in a way that you can feel better. Again, I'm doing this Facebook Live also because there's a little girl in Australia by the name of Liv Kringudis. I hope I'm not butchering her last name. She is a cute little thing, and she is selling her hair to Locks of Love, which is, Jenny, if you could put the link up again, called Canteen Group out there in Australia. And I'm challenging everybody online to donate at least $10 to this little cutie, and I'm going to match whatever you guys donate tonight. I'm going to match it. So make me go broke, $1 million. I'll have to match it. Jerry Bailey just came on. He's a stud. He's a chiropractor. Jerry, you need to go to the website that just got posted and give Liv Kringudis some money for her Locks of Love. It's Natalie's daughter, and if you don't do it, I'm going to tell her mom that you didn't donate anything. The same with you, Amy Beth. What can you do with low libido, Patricia? You can tell your husband to leave you alone. I mean, that would be the first thing. You can tell your husband that you don't have sex with jerks, because that would be the second thing. You could tell your husband that instead of kissing you on the neck or trying to have sex with you in the kitchen, that it would be better if he could do the dishes or do the laundry so that you have time to sit on the couch and watch TV like us men do. I think you're seeing the theme here is that it's not your fault, it's his fault. But the reality is testosterone might make you feel better. It might give you a little bit more energy so that by the time the end of the day comes and you are home and he's home and the last thing you want to do is climb in bed because you're exhausted, you might be interested in having sex with him. But usually it's his fault. Would it be good to go with a chiropractor for the pain of the hips and knees? Yes, I would be remiss to say not to go to a chiropractor. I think chiropractors are great to have in your back pocket if they can fit there. I think it's good to find somebody that's open-minded and that can do all sorts of things. But yes, definitely you should see a chiropractor. I'm still shedding hair daily, lots of it. I'm tired a lot. And if I even get 10 hours, I still feel tired. I get panic attacks too. Could this be hormonal? Sure. That could be a lot of things, but right off the bat, I'm curious to know what your thyroid levels are. If you've been prescribed progesterone, hopefully they prescribed it because they did some testing and found that you were low and they weren't just guessing. Estrogen dominance, Lisa. Estrogen dominance is probably the number one hormone imbalance in women that I see now, most likely due to obesity and the plastics in our food and the estrogens in our meat and all those other things. But estrogen dominance is a bugger. It's a problem, and I see it all the time. Short of testosterone deficiency, which is probably, I'm going to change the view now. Testosterone deficiency is another bad one that I see a lot of. So Maya, my friend Maya from New York, eat dirt. Maya's, if you ever get around to looking up Maya on Amazon, she's got a great book. She's the dirt queen. She's a doctor, neurologist, and she's awesome. She's also a serious power lifter, and she can stand on her hands for like 90 seconds. So I can't do that at all. So I don't recommend pellets. I hate pellets. I'm just going to say it. I don't want to make anybody mad, but I'm not a fan. Oh, there's my Jameson's box right there. I'm not a fan of pellets, and I'm not a fan of pellets because They cost a lot. They hurt to put them in. They don't give you stable levels. The people that are putting them in probably shouldn't be putting them in because they don't know what they're doing. I don't mean that in a bad way. I guess I said it, so I said it. I just don't think they're a good form of hormone replacement. And I think creams are better. If you don't like pellets, you can't take them out. If you don't like a cream, you can stop it today and you'll feel better hopefully tomorrow. I feel less anxious now that I'm on progesterone. They did blood tests, all came on back fine. Now, Belinda, here's the problem with fine. What the hell does fine mean? Your fine is different than somebody else's fine. Your normal is different than somebody else's normal. And as Alan Hopkins, Dr. Hopkins, and his wife Amy Beth, who was on here earlier, say, it's not about normal or abnormal. It's about what's optimum for you. And so just to say that you're normal is ridiculous. I hate it when doctors tell patients that because it makes a difference. Lisa made a donation, which means now I have to make a donation. So put up the post again, Jenny, please. I want everybody to click right now and donate to Little Liv Kringudis, who is out there in Melvin, as her mother says, Melvin, although we say it Melbourne here in the States, because that's correct English. We say Melbourne. There's the post. Everybody that donates to Little Liv tonight, I'm going to go on when I'm done. I'll give you a few minutes afterwards, and I'm going to match it. If it's only $10, then I'm only paying $10. But if you guys can get $500 up there, then I'm going to do $500. So go ahead and donate and empty out my bank account. That means you, Jerry, and that means you should give probably a couple $100 because you're a chiropractor and you're rich. So give the poor girl some money, Jerry. Somebody call Qua and tell him to give some money too, and instead of going to the conference that he's going to go to just give the money to Little Liv. Thank you for your advice. Should I go back to my GP, and if so, what should I ask him to do? GPs are great, and they can order tests, but I would have them order estrogen, progesterone, free and total testosterone, DHEA, vitamin D, and then I would run thyroid, not just a TSH, but a free T4, a free T3, and a reverse T3. You can also run thyroid antibodies if you're wanting to get a little more in-depth. How can one naturally get through menopause without hormones? Well, the most natural thing to do is nothing and suck it up, but that sucks, right? So if you're not, if you don't want to do that, then the best thing, a step up from there, herbally, would be something like maca or feminescence, which is something that I recommend all the time. Or you can use things like Vitex, you can use black cohosh, isoflavones, things like that to see if they'll help. About 60% of women will get some help with herbal therapies, and it's pretty good. I mean, it's better than nothing, but a lot of women don't. Why are your teeth breaking, Alma? I really don't know. I'm sorry. I would definitely recommend going to a dentist, though. So I'm going to give this 5 more minutes because my wife is texting me from the Dallas airport, and I'm not answering her, and she keeps texting me, and I have a feeling that I'm going to be in trouble if I don't respond. So I'm going to go 5 more minutes. I want everybody to click over right now to the link that Jenny's going to post, Uno Mas Tiempo. See how I did that? Jerry's going to give $100. Amy Beth's going to give $100. And everybody else is going to give whatever they can. Yes, Belinda, you can definitely save it. We're going to post it to my YouTube page. And we're going to also, it'll be on the page here. So if you want to watch it again, you can. 14-year-old girl, no period, and some dark facial hair. I'm scared that they're going to want to load her up with medicines. You know, if she's 14 and she's not having a period, they just need to check her FSH and LH to see if her brain is making the hormones that talk to the ovaries yet. It might just be that she's a little bit late in her development, and the facial hair, if she indeed has a high level of testosterone, then we need to find out why. Maybe she's got polycystic ovarian syndrome. and there's ways to deal with that. And they can always offer to load her up with medicines, but you also have the option of saying no and finding a naturopath or finding somebody in your area that treats things on a more integrative path. You know, it's always good to have the input of your doctor, but it's also good sometimes to have the input of other healthcare practitioners that have a different view of things. So I'm going to finish up for now because my wife is texting me. I'm going to give this 15 minutes after this video, and then I'm going to go back over to Liv's link, and I'm going to match y'all's donations. So I want you to click over there right now, right now. Make me spend as much money as possible, please. I think we're going to blow this little girl's mind if we can get her up over $2,000. I think she was already at $1,200, so she only was trying to raise $700. So I think we can do it if we just put our minds to it. I'll talk to y'all later. But I can't hit the finish button because my fingers are too fat, so...